Okay, we are live at 0900 Pacific time, 9 a.m. Don't know where you are today, but I hope you're doing well. Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, and namaste from Foothill Ranch. Hello, Sandy. And Cosmic Dancer. Very, very cool. Very cool. Okay. Cosmic Dancer, you're way off planet, probably. Hi, Irene. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. All right. Wanda from Ontario. Okay. Well, hi there. This, of course, is our community meditation that we do here at the Center for Mindful Living, also known as the Mindful Living Collective. Hi, New York City. Good to have you here. And Mad Meta from San Jose. Good. We got people from all over here. This is so great. So today, because I always take the third Sunday of the month, that's just the one that seems, I don't know. I don't know why I picked the third Sunday, but I did. And as a result, it usually rolls around that on my Sunday to do these meditations, I get the solstices and I get the equinoxes because they usually happen around the third week of the month. And as a matter of fact, today is the vernal or spring equinox in the northern hemisphere. And if anyone is tuning in from Australia, you are celebrating your autumn equinox down there. And so I thought today I like to tie in the seasons a little bit with just a brief Dharma talk. And today I'd like to talk about equanimity because this is the day of equal day and night, or within a few seconds of each other. And so equanimity is one of the Brahma Viharas, which means sublime or divine abodes. And equanimity shares the Brahma Viharas with loving kindness, compassion, sympathetic joy. And it is one of the natural outgrowths of vipassana or mindfulness meditation. Equanimity is. Equanimity is also a natural outgrowth of yoga, as a matter of fact. And maybe I'll say a little bit more about that here in just a moment. But what equanimity is, or at least the way I like to define it, is the willingness to move equally into the unpleasant as you would move into the pleasant. The willingness to move in equal amounts into the unpleasant as you would into the pleasant. So when we experience equanimity, it's not like, oh, nothing bothers me. In fact, that might be called the near enemy of equanimity, which would be indifference or apathy or whatever, you know, the whatever kind of thing. It's not that things don't bother us. Things do bother us. We're human. We have automatic and habitual reactions overlearned across our lifespan. So, of course, we're going to have situations that are unpleasant. And we're going to react to those in very specific ways that we have developed because that's what we think we need to do to keep ourselves safe. Equanimity is the willingness to investigate that difficulty, the willingness to investigate maybe the anger that's here, or the fear that's here, or the sadness that's here. And of course, you're always able, whenever you wish, to go into the pleasant just as deeply, into the joy, into the love, into the spaciousness, whatever it might be. Now, if you want to explore equanimity in our practice today, and I will be giving instructions on that, then move slowly, especially if you are new to these practices. This is not about attaining something. In other words, oh, if I go really deeply into this unpleasant thing, then something will happen. No, what will probably happen is you'll get overwhelmed. So, when overwhelm or if overwhelm happens, or if things are just too difficult, just put your big toe in. Just check the temperature, see how things are. Okay, I can stay with this for now. Maybe I don't have to go deeply into it. I don't have to go into the deep end, but maybe I'll start wading a little bit into this, knowing that you can also withdraw anytime. We call it titrating. You can move into something, you can back away from it. Elisha likes to say, touch it lightly and back away. These are the kinds of ways we can keep ourselves safe during the practice and not be overwhelmed. Now, I mentioned earlier that yoga is also a place where equanimity can be found. Yoga deals with opposites. So does the Dharma, the opposites of pain and pleasure, gain and loss, praise and blame, fame and disrepute. These opposites come. Now, in yoga, it's often about opposites of up, down, left, right, whatever it might be. And when we explore these opposites, then we are less at the mercy of the onslaught of the opposites during our day. In other words, if I am able to move into a little bit of discomfort, if I have discomfort during the day, then I will suffer less. I will not be as subject to the onslaught of those opposites. So let's get into our practice, shall we? And remembering that you can be in any position that suits you, that's appropriate for you. It could be sitting. I'm just sitting in a chair. Maybe you are too. Maybe you're on a cushion, bench, lying down. It doesn't really matter. You can do walking meditation. Maybe you're on a walk right now. And it may be helpful and useful to remember that we are not here to become good meditators. We're not here to learn some skill. We are actually here to learn how to wake up and then to take that ability into our daily life where we can wake up to the present moment anytime we wish when we find ourselves caught up in habitual or automatic reactivity towards something. And so sitting or lying down, eyes closed or lowered, feeling free to change your physical position or your eye position anytime, especially if you get overwhelmed. Let the eyes open, reorient to your surroundings, and then arriving in the body and noticing, are there any areas of tightness or tension here? Am I holding some habitual tension in my body? Shoulders, buttocks, face, jaw, hands. Sometimes simply by bringing awareness to these areas, they automatically soften. This is the power of mindfulness. When we tend to something with mindful awareness, we suffer less. Now, perhaps you have a chronic condition of discomfort in certain parts of the body. First of all, make sure you're taking good care of yourself if that's the case. And then for all of us, if we have some chronic tension or other issue, feel free to breathe into and out from that part of the body. Feeling the breath come in through the nose, Feel it go into that area of the body, and almost as though that breath could just seep into it. And as we breathe out from that area, letting that area release with the exhale. And then letting the attention come to rest in the sensations of breathing, feeling the experience of breathing, the air coming in, the belly expanding, the air going out, the belly releasing. If for whatever reason feeling the body breathing is difficult for you, use the sensations you're feeling in your hands, whatever your hands might be touching. And if you're using the breath as your object of attention, as your anchoring point, explore the inhale. Feel it all the way up to the top. And then equally explore the exhale. Sometimes one breath becomes a dominant breath, the other breath we don't even notice. See if you can explore both inhale and exhale equally. And as we continue, if any sensation arises in the body that may be considered slightly unpleasant, let's start with really simple things like maybe an itch. Instead of automatically scratching, see if you can turn toward the itch, deepen into it a bit. Notice the sensations that accompany this thing that we label itching. It might be burning or stinging. It might have a shape or it's very local. And then noticing too how it, like a wave, reaches a peak of intensity and then begins to fade away. And when we practice on these very simple physical experiences, when we practice equanimity, this scales up to larger experiences in our lives. Or perhaps a leg falls asleep. Again, this is a pretty benign experience, and it offers the opportunity to practice equanimity, to deepen into all the sensations of that leg. Or perhaps a sound is going on in your world that you consider to be unpleasant. The sound itself is neutral. It's neither pleasant nor unpleasant. It's just a sound. but the mind may have other ideas. Here, too, would be an opportunity to deepen into perhaps unpleasant reactions. And again, only go as far as you can comfortably. And if this kind of practice is not what you want this morning, just stay with the breath or the hands. Not a problem. And as we continue, in the silence, the opportunity arises to learn how to awaken from automatic pilot when we notice that the mind has drifted. In this noticing, we are now mindful. We are present. Perhaps we'd like to look back and see what kinds of thoughts we were having. Or perhaps we'd like to look into the body, feel into the body, and see how that thought feels that I was having. And then eventually inviting the attention back to our object of attention, our anchoring point, which connects us to the present moment. It could be breathing, sensations in the hands, or sounds, whatever is best for you in this moment. And so we will continue again through an extended period of silence. And as we continue, if you have had the opportunity to investigate equanimity, the willingness to move into the unpleasant as far as you would go into the pleasant, and if it's something that you want to do, notice what happens when you turn toward a perhaps benign but unpleasant experience and investigate it a little bit, noticing its qualities and so forth. Notice what happens to the unpleasant event. And of course, the sensations of breathing, the sensations of the hands, or sounds are always a place you can go for safe harbor if things get difficult. And so we will continue practicing together in silence until the conclusion of this exercise. And of course, taking as much time as you need to transition from the practice in any way that works for you. So today we explored a little bit about equanimity, the willingness to move into the difficult as much as we would move into the not difficult. Take it easy with this practice or in your daily life in applying it. You don't have to go into the deepest, darkest thing that's here, but it could be just a minor irritation or concern, something like that, where you go, oh, here's an unpleasant experience. Oh, maybe I can feel the sensations of it and notice the thoughts of it and so forth. And when we do this, we become, just a little bit immune to some of the onslaughts of those opposites that I talked about earlier: praise and blame, pleasure and pain, fame and disrepute, gain and loss. These are going to come whether we want them to or not. We don't really have much choice. So let it all be known as much as you're able. But again, don't push, nothing you need to try to achieve. Any thoughts, any questions, uh, any confusion, anything I can clear up? Feel free to chat something in. But hello, Alex. Yes, thank you. And Nan, hello. Some names I don't remember here. Gary, good to see you again. Hi, Eileen, Ellie. And you're saying hi to Irene. Okay, yeah. Who else? Matthew was here. Very good, very good. Incidentally, for those of you who are still here on the call, I offer a daily meditation, 8 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. Pacific time, Monday through Friday. Wednesdays, we have a guest teacher, and on Fridays, we have loving kindness practice. And the rest of the week, it is mindful meditation. We also have little brief yoga segments on Tuesdays and Thursdays as well before the meditation. If you would like the Zoom link to that meeting, write me here at this email address, roger at rogernolan.com. I'm simplifying it, making it as simple as possible. Feel free to visit the website if you like. I think Elisha has a comment on there. Uh, what else? Light and dark. Yes, light and dark, and you know the presence of dark implies the presence of light, because we don't know darkness unless we know light. And of course, where there's light, there's shadow, and so forth. And that's another interesting meditation in opposites, that right implies that there's left. You know, you can't have one without the other. Inhale, exhale, and so forth. Balance, yes, balance. Balance is always necessary. Oh, thank you, Claudia. Good deal. Yeah, I think we could all use equanimity. And so, what we're looking at here is the ability to kind of cultivate that experience of equanimity. And remember, it doesn't mean detachment. It doesn't mean indifference or apathy. It really is not, that's not equanimity, where nothing bothers me. This is about noticing the bothering. Any questions, thoughts, confusion? I have a lot of confusion. All right. Well, I think then we'll leave it here. For those of you who tuned in live, thank you for being here. For those of you who are watching on a recording, I'm glad you were able to find it. Nice to see you. And so I'll be here on the third Sunday of April, and we'll see what's happening around there. And what else was I going to say? Oh, yes. Thank you, Elisha. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, Valerie, and everybody at the Mindful Living Collective. And thank you for being here. My dear friends, I'm very grateful to have you. All right. Hope to see you again soon. Ending broadcast now.